What's going on? Happy Sunday, you guys. Welcome to another episode of the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast. As you can see, it's just me and KP today. And we are joined by our lovely spouses, pains in the butts, whatever you want to call them, they here with us today. Right?
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So, hey, listen, if you are in here, please share the broadcast out to your friends and family, your timeline, Messenger, Twitter, messenger pigeon, all that. Share it. So, before we get started, man, Kev, how was your week, brother?
Oh man, my week was great. Started off great with our anniversary was last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 year fully married. And I took my baby out. I took my wife out to dinner, little 5-star Brazilian restaurant. We had a hell of a time there. I got sick actually that day, but we're not gonna discuss that. I had acid reflux and it sucked, but I got my meal in though. I got my meal in.
You got it down. What you did? Okay.
Yeah. So, but we, I enjoyed this week. Her. I mean, we worked together again. She's now my boss. yeah. So, but I tell her every time when we clock out, you ain't the boss of me no more. All right, I run this show. I'm Michael Jackson. You Tito.
Okay, how did that happen? Okay, let's get to that. How did that happen, real quick?
Oh. Well, I was waiting on some jobs to come in, and they didn't come in as promised. And I just got sick and tired of waiting. I'm used to working 2 jobs now, and I wanted another job besides my other job at night that I work. And she's like, "Hey, go ahead and put in this application. My bosses are looking to hire you." Bet, cool, let's do it. And she's my boss.
It sounds like a setup to me, bro. That's what it sounds like. I could be. I don't know. I could be off. But for those of you guys who are chiming in on this with us today, I really appreciate you. First of all, today we're doing this episode. We should have did it last week, but we were celebrating our respective anniversaries. Much like Kevin said, his was Sunday, ours was last Thursday, and so us two, po folks went to a restaurant. It was almost, I think it was a 4.5 star. I'm not sure. We only 4.
He said 4.
It was actually it was a great restaurant. It really was. And we got time to just me and her, because with us being married and having a special needs child, having those special times together like that are few and far between, right? And so we have to relish in those times to where we spend time together. But today, you guys, we are going to talk about our respective wedding days. And we got some pictures we're going to show y'all. We're going to clown a little bit. So I'm going to tell you right now, go and get your people, go and gather, get the popcorn going, and we can get it rocking. Now, I do have a couple of questions to get the whole party started. Now, with those of you that have been following us for a short period of time, you guys don't know that me and Kevin have been friends for, 10 years, Kev?
It's been over a decade. I'd say it's going on. I always say maybe 11 or 12, but yeah, I think I'm a year over. But yeah, it's over a decade for sure.
Yeah, and some of y'all may know the story. I met Kevin in this group called Grown Folks Talk on Facebook with Nas Bay and all those guys. What's up, Brian? What's going on? I see you, buddy. And so that's how we met. Now, when I first met Kevin, Kevin was a punk. He did a show. What he did. I'm not a punk in a bad way, but a punk in he was young, right? And so he hosted the chat thread on Fridays called Dr. People, and he's looking like don't bring it up. But when I met Kevin wasn't. Kevin was Kev, just pre-saved Kevin. You know what I'm saying? So my first question to you, Kev, I got to ask. With you and Jen, who pursued who first? Or who pursued who? How did you guys do?
I'm not getting in trouble. You go first.
What's the sanitizer?
All right. So I mean, we really we started off as friends talking on the phone. Um,
It seems so high school.
we worked together back
Again,
then.
oh my God, you guys got a history to working together. Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
back then it was unintentional. This time it was intentional. But back then it was, we she worked at Cricket and I worked at Cricket. I worked at busiest stores, one of the busiest Cricket stores selling phones throughout the whole nation. We were number one, and her
Excellent.
store was
Yeah.
actually pretty good, but she needed help at times. She don't speak Spanish well. Me at the time, my Spanish was up to par, and I would help out, and it was my buddy's store, as a matter of fact. She had transferred over to that store, and I got to know her a little bit. She schooled me on a few things because I was still fresh, I was still green behind the ears, and working there at the store. And one day I just asked my boy Rick, "Hey,
Who that?
number?" He's the manager of the store. I said, "Rick, you got her number? Can you?" Or if you don't feel comfortable giving me her number, you can give her my number, and if she texts me, I know, we can be cool. And I guess in a sense you can say
It was Rick, right? It was Rick.
it was Rick. Yes, it was not me.
Wait, wait. We're not going to speed past that like you didn't say that. Rick. So Rick pursued you first, and then
No, Rick.
No, Rick,
Rick is my
before
homeboy.
you. Okay.
Rick got us.
Yeah, he's the one that literally put us together because he was in my ear. She's this, she's that, she's single, and this and that. I'm like, okay. And then since they work at the store together, I guess they would talk. And then we just really, what was it? One day, we just talked, and we got each other's phone numbers. First it was through Snapchat, and then we got each other's phone numbers through that. And
That's the
then
long way
one day we
around.
just
That's the long
I
way
was
around.
getting that phone number. I gave out that Snapchat.
no, she wasn't giving out the phone number. She did not want to give out the phone number first.
Yeah,
No.
You have to
you was a
change
creep.
it if they're crazy.
Yeah, you might have been a creep. We don't want you to be creepy. Don't do that.
Do I look like a? You know what?
I don't know. Listen, I know you
Look
from
at Satan.
back in the day.
Look at Satan. But so what ended up happening, and I'll never forget. This was actually one of the things that when I asked her one day, I was like, "So what are you doing? On Saturday? It was a Saturday. I never forget." And she goes, I got a quinceañera to go to. And I go, where at? And now I kid you not, I'm still maybe a month into living here in San Antonio. San Antonio is huge. If you don't know, it's pretty damn big. I didn't know anything about where this mall was, so we ended up linking up at the South Park Mall in the parking lot, and we ended up chatting before she went, and she was looking hella fine in her dress.
I could have done
So
that.
I'm just saying, hey, you
Hey,
wanted
that's the way I
details,
feel.
I'm giving
Yeah,
you.
I'll feel you. Go ahead.
But she was looking gorgeous in her dress, and I just couldn't keep my eyes off her. She just asked me, "Well, what are you looking at?" I go, you, duh."
At least you didn't.
And so I can say I made a move on her, and she did not pull back. So yeah, I gave her. I put these mud flap lips on her lips, and
These say mud flap lip stove. That's why he say mud flap lip. I'm trying to get my thoughts behind out. Mud flap? Really? Okay.
but yeah, so we kissed for the first time, and this again, mind you, we knew each other probably a month and a half before we even kissed, or before we even started talking. Um, she was dead serious on taking this slow. But one of and I said this before on previous shows. When we talk, I when we were talking, I go, hey, before we make this official, or if we're gonna try and make this official or do anything, I'm just sick and tired of getting it wrong. So if you're sick and tired of getting it wrong, why don't we just make it right and do the right thing and just be right by each other? And she agreed. And from that day forward, October 16th, we just made it official. Of what is it? What's 7 years ago? I don't know the math. But 7 years ago, it's
Math,
going on 8.
it's always a
Going on
struggle.
7.
It's going on 7. It's going on 7 years. So yeah, that's when we made it official, and yeah, voila.
Wow. Okay. So we asked one. You guys asked one.
You want to ask one because I'm about to get him with this one.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead.
Oh, all right then, bet.
He's coming.
Melissa,
Yeah,
I want Melissa to answer this one first because I want your perspective. Or you sprinkle your little two cents in there after this. What made you realize when that you fell in love with Terry? What made that connection? What made it?
What? I was a priority. It's when I could see I was a priority.
That's a good answer.
You know, you could tell when you're communicating, because if you don't know our story, we started long distance. We'd known each other for a long time, and I didn't give him the time of day for a long time.
So didn't.
And
why didn't you give him the time of day?
because I didn't want any of his chaos.
Man.
No. You don't get to
Hey, man, what's going on?
no. You get your 2 minutes of fame later. Let us have hers. All right. So
That's what it boiled down to. Like, it didn't matter that he was sleeping. Like, I didn't want, his situation was not something that I wanted to partake in. I had enough of my own drama. I didn't need somebody with their own.
You didn't want to add to it. Okay.
Show. Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. Terry.
I mean, listen. Okay. Okay. Be fair, right? Let's be fair.
It's the truth.
Let's be fair. I'm just saying, be fair. Yeah, I had a whole slew of issues going on. I wasn't ready mentally. I wasn't ready emotionally. I was in that place in my life where I just wanted to be with somebody, right? That's where I was emotionally. And those of you who have listened to the podcast, the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, the audio edition, the origin, go check that out on your podcast platforms. What a plug, right? Like that. If you listen to that story, I met her at Walmart at the time clock, and we were in passing, and I saw her, and her eyes absolutely caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for her eyes, and I was like, okay, let me ask. But the situation was, I was living with my estranged wife at the time, and it just didn't work. She was a different person. I was different. And so she would not. I followed her for how long did I follow you? 5 years. I follow her for 5 years on social media. I watched her go through her ups and downs, breakups, heartache, all that. I watched all that, birthdays, and
we would talk throughout the years. We didn't like talk all the time.
Right.
We talked maybe a few times a year. That was the type of like social media friendship.
Yeah.
It was the years, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of, but never.
Yeah. It was rough. And so she called me one day out of the blue in 2016. And no, she didn't call me. She sent me, what's up, Quinn? Sent me a inbox message. So I'm like, yeah, man. It was crazy. I wanted her though, drunk. I knew that I wanted to be with her. I knew it. Now, at the time that I said that, to be fair, I didn't know if I wanted to be with her emotional or more physical. Because at that time, it was just the fact of being with somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, an emotional connection, my emotions were gone. So it wasn't about an emotional connection at the time for me. It was about just smack it up, flip it. You know what I mean? But she wasn't having that no way. So it just didn't go down like that. And so she got a hold of me in 2016. It was an inbox message on Facebook. And she says, "Hey, are you single now?" I'm like, just so happen I am. You know what I mean?
Wait. Did she do the "Hey, big head, how you doing"?
She did the big head. Because she didn't know I had a big head at the time. She didn't know. All this had grown over the 5 years. Yeah, so she didn't know that I had a big head. And so she just out of the blue one day and just submit a message on Facebook and was like, "Hey, are you single?" I'm like, yeah.
I don't think that's how it went.
That's how I went. I can show it to you.
I don't think so.
I can probably show it to you.
You'll have to scroll
I
back.
have to scroll. It's a lot of scrolling.
We'll have to screenshot to verify this. I don't.
Rub it down.
Yeah, like, I'm just saying.
But I don't know.
So she hit me up. Had just broken up with a girl, and I was sleeping on her couch, and I was just kind of transitioning between her couch and a hotel. And she hit me up, and I was like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" And she was like, "I want to come and see you." I think we came. She came down from Chicago to North Carolina just in February because it's Ryan's birthday.
Yeah, we started dating in January, and
Yeah,
I drove down a month later in February.
Yeah, so she came down in February, and then she, how it went down. Anyhow, we got together. I knew, but I've always known that I loved her, but I did not know how much I loved her until she came to see me in 2016. And it just always just a culmination of, oh my God, it's been 5 years. And now I have you in my arms and I see you. And it's like, oh, ugh. And that was that, without being too, racy on this broadcast. But it was all that in the bag of chips for me. And she went back to Illinois and we kept dating long distance. And here we are. Years later.
Man, so y'all have been together for a total of how many years?
What, 7?
January will be 7, but we've known each other for 11, 10 or 11.
Yeah, because I met you in 2011.
Mm-hmm. My daughter was very young.
Yeah.
I was like maybe 18 months old or younger.
Yeah, it was a whole mess.
See how crazy that is? Like, we're so similar as couples because I've known her. We're going on 7 years. You guys also got married pretty much July, almost around the same time as us. It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
We got some similarities there. But y'all go ahead. Who got the next question?
Drunk has a question for us up in here. I guess he said, do we regret not getting together earlier, or was the path needed for what y'all got now? Baby, you want to answer that?
Yeah, we have talked about this a lot in our marriage. Had we gotten together back in 2011, 12, we wouldn't have survived a year together. Just we weren't in a place in our lives.
Absolutely
we had
not.
A lot ourselves going on. I was still wrapped up in a domestic violent relationship with my children's biological father. I wasn't at a good place in my life. Terry wasn't at a good place in his life. We wouldn't be who we are today together. We're stronger together because we didn't get together then, if that makes sense. We went through our own struggles and kind of healed through a lot before. I mean, we were still pretty broken when we got together, but we healed a lot of our past prior to.
Facts.
Yeah, you gotta have that emotional support. The emotional support you guys have for each other is what helps heal, and that speeds up the healing process as well. So I mean, that's what was needed as well. That's good stuff. Thank you, Drunk, for that question, by the way.
Good question, man. If y'all got any questions, put them in the comments. I'd love to answer those.
Put them in the comments.
We got some pictures that we're gonna show y'all of our days.
Oh, that's gonna be rough.
Go ahead and tell you. Up out here. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you hear that, so here's the question, Jen. This is my question to you. If you guys have been together for the time you guys have been, how long? 5 years? 6 years?
7 years.
7 years. Has there ever been a time in the 7 years when you almost said, "I'm out"?
A few times, yes.
Why didn't you?
I learned to trust and not realize that my past is my past and not every guy is the same. It takes a lot to trust, a lot, especially with what I've been through. And my boys and his kids, it's just amazing. I couldn't break that apart.
I got you. Well, that's all sweet and everything. Let's do this. we're gonna get to the fun. We're gonna get to the fun stuff because people are waiting. Brian's like
Yeah, Brian can't. It's like his
he's
palms are itchy to see this.
right. He wanted to see me. He wanted to send me some pictures and show his stuff. I'm like, no, I love you, B. I do, but these two. All right. So Brian said the funniest moments or moments of your marriage so far. Funniest moments. Oh man, we've had a lot of those because I'm a clown, complete clown. Tip. I want to ask a question about having a special needs child in a marriage. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's my entire life.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you something, Tip. When we first got Terry's diagnosis at how old was Terry? Like 18 months. And so when our life changed at the time he turned 2, it was very difficult, especially for me. I took it a little bit different than she did because she went through the special needs with her oldest son, Javante. So she kind of knew this. She kind of knew the signs. She kind of knew what to see and how to. I was not ready. I was angry for a long time, to be honest with you, because I didn't know how to handle it, and I couldn't be mad. There was nobody in particular I was mad at. I was just mad at the fact that now I have a special needs son. I don't know how to handle this, but as time as she has taught me, there's certain ways we have to, there's certain ways that we have to deal with certain situations, and some days, to be honest, some days are still rough. There are days where I wake up and I know I have to be a father to my son, and I have to go and do and make sure that when we go out, we have to make sure that everything is good. We got to plan our outings and things like that. And there are days where I wake up and my heart is just broken. It's broken. Like I look at my son and I go, oh my God, I just wish that was something I could do, you know. But as far as our marriage, it has caused struggles. It has caused, arguments and things of this nature. But the one thing about me and Melissa is that we always try to talk things through. It may not always go. Now that first couple of chapters of talking, it may be a little bit loud. I can almost guarantee it will be. It's gonna be, I'm not yelling. I'm talking to you in a tone of voice where you can hear me. That's kind of how. But we always, eventually, talk it out. Sometimes I'm an asshole, and she'll tell you that. Other times she's one, and it's we kind of balance together. But one thing I learned in our marriage with Terry is that he has brought us closer together, and the reason we parent the way we parent is because of him. I hope that answers the question.
Tiffany, to help you from my perspective, Terry didn't accept it a lot of the time, and a lot of the time he doesn't accept what needs to be done to get our son to the place that we need to get him to. And and it's a lot of just repetition, like, well, this is what it is, this is what it means, and this is how we have to do this to get this result. And if you continue to do this, then this is going to continue to happen. And if you want a more peaceful life with us, to have some more alone time, to be able to have somebody to step in and help provide for this child while we can step away together, then you have to do these things with us while we're in the home, so then we can teach somebody else how to do it. And if we're not being consistent with him in the home and we're not doing these things with him, then how are we ever going to get to that place?
Right.
So having a special needs child takes away a lot of the alone time that most husband and wives, get. Yeah. It's hard when you have kids, but I'd say it's, like 10 times as hard when you have a child with special needs, because there is no daycare, there is no, and even getting respite providers, they're few and far between.
Yeah.
So, Tiffany, I think it's just a lot of, I had to give a lot of our marriage to God, honestly, because I could not control it, and I love to control things, and I could not control it. I could not get him to see like what he needed to see, and I just had to say, like, God help me, because I don't know what more to get him to see, that like he's got to do this too. I can't be the only one doing this. I have to do this. Harry has to do this. My mom has to do this when she comes. Our children, our other children have to follow in suit and do the same thing. So, it's a family. I think around here I preach a lot about what a family is supposed to be. What does that
That's
look
the
like?
thing.
What does
Family,
that
family,
feel
family.
like? And what do we do to make that happen? And so I think that's my big answer, Tiffany, is to just be open, honest, and understanding, and just don't give up with that. But you have to show them how to understand it. If they're not getting it one way, try a different way.
Get it another way.
At some point, it will come.
Yeah, it comes. It's still, it's a struggle, and those struggles come and go every other day. You know what I'm saying? But switching gears, let's get back to this is getting deep. All right, so Brian said the funniest moments. I want to go back to that for a minute because Brian, every moment in our marriage where we try to build something is funny. I'm gonna tell you that. I ain't building nothing. I ain't handy at all. I can't do a screwdriver, hammer, and nail. There have been a few things that we have built together, and every time we build it, it's backwards. It is. What? That's what it is. And so that's a funny moment. Anytime we build something, if I get on there and say, "Hey, we got a new bed," oh, hey,
it's terrible. It's so terrible, and I want to get so mad at him.
Hey, get mad at him. Yell at him.
I married him knowing that he's not a handyman.
I am
Melissa, this is your time.
Oh.
This is your time to put him on the spot. And I mean, if you got to crank back. Yeah.
So Larry, would you go ahead and show the photo? Do you have that one?
I don't think I have that one.
Oh, that's bummer. Good. So our funny moment is my aunt called him Larry while marrying us rather than Terry.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Brian, if you're still here, Brian, you still here. I have a funny moment. I wish I would have put. Yeah, you seen the video of us getting married, right?
Yeah, I seen a little bit of it. Yeah.
I'm about to put my wife on the blast.
On the blast, you said.
You did not hear me correctly.
No, hell
Nobody
no.
heard
For
me.
all the viewers that are watching right now, funniest moment in our entire relationship was the day that we got married.
Oh.
We're doing our vows, and the pastor says, "Repeat after me." Terry, you know, did it click? I saw the face.
Yeah.
Saw the face. Remembers now.
Yeah.
The pastor goes, what was the words?
Lawfully.
Oh, do you take your lawfully wedded husband in hand in marriage? She said, no, something along those lines. She goes, my awful wedded husband. I wish we could show the clip. I have the video. I should have sent it to you.
That was hilarious.
I should have sent it to you because everybody was like, "What happened?"
What you have that was funny.
Oh man,
everybody, and then you can hear my boy Noel, who's in my court. He's like, "I knew it." My brother is like, it was hella funny.
Yeah.
And then you can hear me on the microphone because he's holding the microphone right here close to us. And you can hear me. I was like, "You're what?"
She caught her. She caught you. It's okay. It happened. Oh man.
It was.
Speaking of funny moments, Brian, and we're talking about at the wedding. My wife, as much as I love her so dearly, I do. I love her so dearly. She decided. Now she knows that Music Soul Child is my favorite singer, right?
Oh.
So she grabs the mic, giving her vows, and sings the song with the line, "Even when you get on my last nerve." She's singing this thing with her whole chest, bro. We're not talking. She didn't mumble it. Hey, coach. She didn't mumble it. She said it with her whole chest. I'm like, babe. Bro, it was absolutely hilarious. But good thing that came before the whole Larry bit. But it was just she's singing. And she asked him, I mean, she didn't sing it out. I mean, she was like, give me the mic. For what? You know, you gonna sing. But so we said our vows and the microphone and she bust out singing. I have never forgiven her for that.
And I don't.
You don't have to forgive her for one day.
Let's get to some of these.
Yeah, one day you gotta forgive me too.
I don't know about that one.
Oh no, that's tough,
Yeah,
right? Oh, I didn't want to show that one. So listen, we're gonna get into some of the pictures, right? Because we have to. Now, at your wedding, my wedding, there were some candid times, some emotional times that made you appreciate the day, right? I know I had a few of those, and I'm gonna show you one of these. And this is one that means the most to me, because this is if you look at the picture, we know you'd be here if heaven was so far away. Now that's my mother, and the heart there. I'm not gonna cry. And I'm very appreciative of my wife because she made sure that she was part of our wedding. And she stained the whole wood piece, put the picture in there and everything. That was big, big, big. But speaking of emotion, we did a thing, me and Kevin both. Well, I did it first, and I told Kevin about doing it. We did a thing called a first look or reveal. First look or first reveal?
No, the reveal is when you do it prior to, like when you do it and it's intimate and your photographer catches it and it's not in front of everyone. You guys waited until we came down the aisle.
Right. So what's that called? That first reveal or first look? That's first look, right?
You just wait.
First look.
So at my wedding, I did a first look. I didn't see my wife come down the aisle until she was about 3 rows from me. I hadn't seen her dress. I didn't know what she looked like in the dress. None of that. That was a very profound moment. The very same moment happened to Kevin during his wedding when Jen came down. She got to the aisle and all that. Now, the reason why I did that is because that's a very important page turner in your life. If you're going through something and you finally get married to the love of your life, and then that turn around is a turn of the page, right? Mm-hmm. That particular pose will give you the exact same reaction. I'm gonna show you why. Now, I got married in 19. You guys got married in what, 21?
21.
Yeah. So let me show you. 2 years apart, we have the same reaction. You see that?
Oh! Yep.
We had the same reaction. Now, yeah, I want you guys to understand something. I'm not sure. I can't speak for Kevin, and Kevin gonna talk about his in a minute. I'm gonna speak for me. The moment that I turned around and I saw her, life, I don't know if it flashed before my eyes, but it changed me in that particular moment. That's the reason why. And it's one of those things that you just can't help, right? It was just, I hunched over and I don't know what it was, but I knew that in that moment, I knew I made the right choice by marrying this woman. Mm-hmm. Kevin, for you though, when that happened to you and you saw her for the first time, what'd you think? What was your thoughts? What was going through your head?
Well, just to give the first sentiment of how everything went down. Again, Terry gave me this idea. Mm-hmm. It was, and I was like, well, hell, I love the sound of that. And I did not know the effects it would have on me at that very moment. Then there you go. Perfect angle. My brother's in the background. My son, you see my brother looking down. That's my brother Pete. And he didn't want nobody to see him crying. Me, I'm in
balling.
I'm in shambles at this moment. My pastor had to tell me to get up.
Yeah.
Because I almost fell to my knees.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, get on up, and then he started singing too. Isn't she lovely? Whoo! Yeah. Hold up. That's a different moment. All right. That's right before, all right?
But your face is glistening though. Your face is glistening, just so you know that. You need some
all right. So to go back to the moment where I fell, how that changed my life, like my whole when Terry described what I was gonna feel, it's different when you go through that exact moment. And the first thing that went through my mind is like, damn it, Terry was right. That's exactly how I felt. You know, the first thing that went through my mind was, I gotta tell Terry he was right. I don't think I want to do this right now. But I was in complete. It was like somebody broke, like the puzzle of my life was broken. That moment that I turned around and saw her, my puzzle was put together. So when I saw her, I didn't know, I couldn't say a word. I couldn't speak. My heart felt like it was about to jump out. I had dry mouth all of a sudden. I was nervous. Now, if you go pull up that picture in black and white again, there's a few things running through my mind. And my brother, I got my bro James on my left, and my brother Pete on my right. Well, facing its opposite. All right. So Pete is on my left on this picture, and James is on my right. So when my brother Pete was telling me, hey, you know, Dad is looking down on you. You know, my pops has been passed away 13 years ago, but he's like, hey, pops is looking down on you. No, he's proud of you. And that's, you know, I had people that were supposed to be at the wedding had passed away either that year or the year prior. And everything was hitting, like I was just picturing everybody's head in my mind. You know, my uncle, both my uncles, my homeboy, her dad had passed away the year prior. It was all hitting me. It was all hitting me. And in that, there's another picture that I sent Terry that, you know, you can see that I literally almost fainted, by the way.
Yeah.
My brother, there's a picture where there's behind, well, if you see him you can see him kind of holding my arm. Both him and James were both holding me up because I literally wobbled back for like a few seconds. And
you caught the Holy Spirit.
They didn't feel safe letting me go.
Right.
Because I literally did this with my eyes closed. I literally whoop.
Yeah.
So and it was all just emotions and everything, and just the moment that I turned around, it all came together. It made sense. Like it all, that's, if I had a way to put it together, words, it just made sense that I made the right. I finally made it. I made the right decision. I finally made the right decision, and it all goes back to when I told her, like I said at the beginning, if you're tired of getting it wrong, I'm tired of getting it wrong. So let's make it right. And it all goes back to 7 years ago when I said that, and we made it right. So yeah, that was a moment. That was a moment. It was beautiful though. And my hat goes off to Terry for giving me that. He was right. He was right. This is the only time he gonna be right.
Good sir. Never.
You know, that was the only thing he was dead set against. When I was doing the wedding planning, it was like, whatever you want. I don't really care. Sure, that sounds great. But I was like, okay, we're going to do this thing where we're like, before everybody comes, we do this like photography. It's called the first look. And then, you know, so by the time I'm walking down the aisle, you've already seen me. We've gotten like I wanted the pretty photos and the nice, we were getting married on a hot day outside at a barn.
Father God.
I wanted pretty photography, but he's dead set against it. So I'm glad that I let him have that one piece.
Yeah. I'm you know what, and I'm glad you did too, because without that moment, I wouldn't have had my moment. You know? Exactly. But at the same time, I'm glad you let him have it too, because what it does for us men, when we see you, hopefully I can paint a picture. What it did for me, and I'm pretty sure it did for Terry, is it made life that much more appreciative. And yes, the wedding is for everybody to view and see and celebrate with us. But at the end of the day, that exact moment when we turned around, it was completely. It just made life so much more simple, so much more broad. It everything was just right.
Yeah.
And it just made so much sense. And I feel good. And even looking back, I just feel good. Every time if I ever get down or something, I can actually look at that picture and say, you know what? I made a right decision one day. And that was it. That was my moment. That was my one and only moment. I can say I was 100% right. We're never 100. We as men, we're never 100% right. No matter what we say, we're never 100% right. But that exact moment, I was 110% right.
Well, in this moment right here, though, I don't know what I was feeling right here. Right?
Boy, looked like he was about to fly.
I didn't know if I wanted to vomit, throw up. I was not sure. Right.
So the guy I like how you're. Hold up. I like how your guy next to you he's like, yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm ready. Yeah.
The guy on my left there is with my best man Phil, and I'm telling you, he told me, he whispered in my ear. I told him, I gave him the instructions. I said, when she gets about 3 rows up, I want you to whisper in my ear and tell me to turn around. And so I turn around, and I get a first glimpse of her and her father coming down the aisle, and that was the face that I made. Like, oh my God, all of her boobs are out in that dress. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's what I thought, though, and I did think that, but it was, the thing about a wedding, and just like you guys' wedding, being silly, and in the wedding or the wedding day, you have to be silly, right? Because you will lose all your cool, all your marbles, right? Now, sometimes Tim said she had the same dress. Oh my! So there are times where people catch you candid, right? Yeah. And you don't know where it's coming from. None of this. Now, my wife here, lovely, isn't she lovely, y'all? She was getting dressed. She was getting dressed, and she got a dress on, corset, whole 9 yards. All of a sudden, she gotta go pee. This is my wife in her dress on the toilet.
I had to hold mine for hours and hours.
You held it? I didn't know that
until we got back to that dress.
It's terrible. This is these things.
This is news to me, y'all, because we
held it.
Yeah.
But that's the best. All right.
Too much dress to pick up.
You held it?
Yeah.
She held it.
Oh my goodness. The bladder.
Mind you.
The bladder you have is amazing.
It's good.
I'm just saying, because so this means she started getting dressed at 5 p.m. 1, 2, 3. You held it for 6.5 hours?
Probably.
Possibly 7, by the way.
Because
you didn't change your dress?
You didn't change it?
No.
So you held your wait. So you held your PP.
Oh no.
Even during this?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, she said.
I would have been so. Listen. I'm old. My bladder ain't built like that. Yeah, so there's no way I'm twerking on anything having to pee. I'm gonna twerk on you and piss on you at the same time. This is just not gonna happen. It just doesn't work. I don't understand. I don't.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. So everybody who's watching this, listen. If you're watching this, please share your emojis. I know you're laughing. If you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and put your laughs emojis. 3 hours you held your pee. I gotta see this again because I can't.
It's got to be more than 3 hours. Lord. Look, and then dress. So if you look at the people behind, you got people literally like Victoria's back here dying laughing.
Yeah, because somebody in that crowd knew you had to pee. That's what it was.
Probably.
You told somebody you had to pee. But wait, while we're being silly here, and we talking about Jen having to pee and all that good stuff right there, check out KF socks.
Hey man, you leave those alone, bro. My feet were hurting, bro. I had to change. I had to change out those shoes and socks.
Yeah,
I couldn't take it no more.
You got some of the longest feet I've ever seen. I thought I had long feet.
I got duck feet. All right, leave my feet alone.
So when you go swimming, you don't use slippers.
Mm.
I guess you don't have to, right?
No, I don't.
But
you know,
it's just it's all in fun. Just like this one's all in fun too. I just wanted to catch this one. This was not really a good one, but y'all on them right there
being cute.
I don't know, man. It's kind of scary. But at the end of it, this is what happens at the end of it, right? You get that. You get a picture like that.
Yes.
Right. And you get a picture like this.
Look at that. Now, hold up. That is so beautiful. If you do not have that as a canvas, something
Look at that
wrong.
pile of shit behind my head, though.
Something pile of shit behind my head.
Is the placement of the photography? It was terrible.
Well,
Look at the pile of dirt behind my head.
You know what? We've been married. I just noticed that.
You really? That's all I ever look at is the stupid pile of dirt that wasn't supposed to be there.
I mean, it looks genuine.
That's good.
I did. Now I cannot unsee it because Melissa said
it. Yeah, you can't. You really can't unsee that. You really can't.
I think the wives always pick apart their photos, so it's normal. That's
she did. She did.
Definitely.
Let me tell you.
Definitely.
Now, Kevin and I've been friends for a long time, and he sent me pictures and videos of his wedding and everything because I could not be there. Tiff said she can fix it. Send me the pic.
I will pay you to fix a few of my wedding photos.
Yeah,
I've never found anybody.
Got a few. But what's up, JP? You're a tad late.
JP.
All against your brother. Still love you. But he sent me a bunch of pictures and wedding videos and stuff. But there was one picture in particular that took my heart. It took my heart, bro. And this was the one for me, right here.
Oh, look at that!
That picture right there. And I can't explain why, but it is so in this picture, just the innocence, my life is done. I hear Genuine's song playing in the background. Now my life has changed.
Actually, no. Hold on, because that was our first dance.
Yeah.
That was our first dance, and the reason we had so many choices of wedding songs to go through, and first of all, what was y'all's wedding song?
I don't even remember.
I think it was Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Here and Now.
Oh, okay. That's actually a good song, by the way.
Yeah.
We played Mirror by Justin Timberlake.
And we blended it.
with what was the other one? I keep forgetting the name of that one. Another Justin Timberlake. But the reason why Mirror is our main song is because the whole song I was singing to her, but I'm literally looking back at my own. I'm looking back at myself. I'm looking myself in the mirror, and that it just did it for me. That whole time that we were dancing, it was just such a graceful, beautiful moment for me. It was so cold, man. So, by the way, the whole video that y'all saw on me and Terry's page, that's cold, y'all. Y'all ever need some work done, man? Go hit this guy. He's a genius.
And he's a pretty good sports guy too. So yeah, y'all go ahead.
Oh yeah, hell, he knows his stuff. I was on this. I was on this show one time, and it was great, man. I wonder we got to link up again one day.
For sure. Now, I can't show you Kevin Jen's my favorite picture of Kevin Jen's without showing you my favorite picture of me and Melissa, right? It's only fair, right? So this picture,
so gorgeous. Look at that. That's so pretty. Look, they doing the Eskimo kiss with the nose and everything. Look at her.
Let me tell you something about this moment, because a lot of y'all know this.
We hated it.
It was hot. It was hot as a bitch. It was hot as Satan balls out there. We got married in Idaho, of course, hottest day of the year. Apparently, that tux that I had on, full wool tux, bro. It was wool. So, if you know anything about wool, that's a very heavy fabric. Now, we had already gone upstairs, had our first dance, I think.
We'd done everything.
Had done everything.
It was time to change, and I wanted to get undressed. And my photographer was like, "Wait,
No,
we
no,
didn't
no.
get any." And I was
Right.
like, "I don't care."
Right. It was a rough day, but that's to me, that's my most
We
favorite
faked
picture.
that photos.
But it was so
like,
good though.
Hurry up. If your sweat drips on me, I swear to God.
That's nasty. We don't know sweat drip on each other. But you know, that was the best day of my life. Now, I guess my next question, my last one rather. We got two more before we go get out of here. Jen.
Oh. Oh no. No.
How much time
And
do
you
you
gotta read the
have?
question because it's down
Okay. I would say my biggest.
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
And what were you saying earlier before the show started? It's all for the show, babe.
I changed my mind.
Socks on the floor. This is the laundry basket. This is the sock. Like how hard is it just to do that extra little quarter of an inch?
But then what?
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah, that's the biggest pet peeve I have.
do that?
Socks on the floor, socks under the bed, everywhere.
Oh. Kev. Did she say socks up under the bed, bro?
Yeah, because they go under the bed.
Because they don't go into the laundry basket.
Whoa. We're not going to speed past it like you didn't say that. So, you're telling me that your socks got up and walked up under the bed, or you didn't put them there? I'm confused how that happened.
I may kick them. May or may not. I don't know. I plead the fifth. Okay.
Okay. They might have gotten more today of of us than they probably wanted to know. But hey, so I'm not going to ask Melissa that question because we're going to move right along here.
Oh, you sure? Oh, you weren't asking me that question.
Whoa.
Come on now.
I ain't got no peeves. What do you mean? I ain't got no peeves. I'm the bestest. Oh yeah. What you talking? What's
the garbage out? The garbage.
That's
just take the
peeve?
damn garbage out. You don't take it out the can and set it next to the can. You take the damn thing outside. And you don't take it just outside. You take it to the receptacle.
What happened?
Got him, coach.
No,
here's the
we're
thing.
trying to train children over here, and I can't train you.
But here's the control. Watch your verbiage, lady. Hey,
yes.
Here's what happened with the trash. The trash. Okay, so
and then it leaks on my tile floor. Then you got to scrub grout. It's like, come on, just take the trash out.
But here's what happened.
Terry.
No, I got to explain myself. Wait a minute. Wait.
It just just kicked it there. Right?
Yeah. What happened with the trash is that when I take it out of the can, it's so heavy.
Just stop now.
No. I gotta say
ahead right now.
I have to say this. So the trash is so heavy out of the can, and then we put it in a bigger bag because when they come and get our trash on Wednesdays, we have to be in a certain bag, right? And so it's so heavy, I have to recoup for a day or two, and then put the bag in the black. Yeah, that's what happened. That is such a lie.
Open mouth insert foot.
That is such a lie. Oh my God. Look. All right. We're running down here. Listen, last question though. Well, last question. Kev, Jen, this is for both of y'all, and we'll get into ours. If you had any advice for young couples about dating, courtship, marriage, if you had any advice,
you want to go?
Take your time. Don't rush. You don't know what love is 1 month into the relationship and be like, I want to marry you. Sometimes it does happen. There's people that have been together 20, 30 years, 1 month, but and wait, grow up a little bit. Don't do it right away. 18, 19 years old. Grow up, explore the world.
Yeah. That's why I married her, y'all.
Yeah. And then go into your courtship and marriages.
Right.
So, and the reason why we can say this is because I literally just had this conversation with my daughter, my son, and my other son, my boy Matthew, my son Matthew. Like, they all went through their own little first time relationships in high school and had a heartbreak. All three of them, by the way. And they had their heart broken, all three of them. And so I have to give them this talk, hey, it's your first, and it's more than likely not going to be your last. So take your time, enjoy yourself, enjoy life, enjoy high school, because I know I did. And and go out there and, like she said, go out there and explore, have fun. When it's time to settle down, you will know, you will feel it, you will see it. And I always give advice to people, that hey, what do you think about this? And I always tell them, look, you have to, when settling down with someone, you have to ask yourself two things: am I doing it right? Am I going about it the right way? And do I see myself having a future with that person? That if you have to put a if and or but in between any of that, then you're doing it wrong.
Right.
So that means either you're not putting enough energy into it, you're not putting enough of you into it. There's something that you got to fix, and it's not right.
Right.
So before you say those three traditional words of "I love you," it's got to be fixed. Note to self, Terry: say trash first.
You know what? Cole?
Yes.
You know what? Cole?
Yes.
Okay. Honey, what's your advice?
My advice is it ain't easy. So be prepared. Be prepared for the struggles because you have to be willing to want to work through them. They're going to come. I don't care how good of a marriage you have. There's going to be something that comes up in your marriage that your husband and you don't agree on, and you'll have to work through it. And you have to be willing, right? Like both parties have to be willing to see it and work through it. So it's not easy. So like Jen said, time, she talked about time in the beginning, but like marriage takes time. And I think the biggest one is like whatever you did to get them in the beginning, make sure that you continue to do that throughout the marriage.
Consistency. Yes, Terry. Vocabulary word of the day is
I'm looking for that.
consistency.
That's still very true statement, though. Very true statement. If we done,
Yeah.
if I had to give advice to young people, as far as getting married, and this is going to sound shallow, but I'm going to say it anyway. Okay, it's work. We enjoy the journey. Exactly. That's right, Cole. I give. Don't do it. Come on, baby. But if you are, don't get married broke. I know it's shallow, but don't get married broke, because if you get married broke, the struggle is even more. You guys, because of course you guys know that the statistics show that the majority of divorces come because of money, or because of money,
financial struggle,
right? So if you don't have, if you're not where you want to be, if you're not um, uh, wealthy, right? At least have a plan to get wealthy. So even if you get married, it just has a plan in place, right? So don't get married broke. My mom always told me when she was alive, she said to me, people that get married broke stay broke. Is that what she always told me that? And we have to be, that's a curse, right? That's a curse. We have to break that curse. And that's what we're trying to do, me and her trying to do, is trying to be, but she puts the plan in place. I just make it happen on my end, right? So if you, even if you're not wealthy, you don't have the money in your pocket right now, that's fine, right? But have a plan. Right? Don't go into it. You know, this one right here is our bookkeeper. She's my bookkeeper. She was like, okay, baby, this is what this that third. I need this on this day and down there. What day we paying the bills this month?
You have to understand that I was a single mother and I handled everything for a long time. So when I married Terry, I gave up a lot, right? Like I may have taken care of my kids, but I had government assistance, right? I was a single mom. So with government assistance, I provided anything my children needed. I worked, 40, 50 hours a week doing whatever I did. And, that's just what I was used to. So when we naturally got together, I had to know that we were going to be okay enough that I could let all of that go, and I know that I can count on this guy here, right? If all else fails, because I'm giving up my security net. I'm giving what I had all these years. And so that was big, when you talk about money, and I don't even think it's just money, but you have to be in this place to be able to know what you're getting into, because things change, tax brackets and getting, refunds for kids at the end of the year, that stops at a certain point. Like, that doesn't continue. That's not not everybody gets, money back every year and things of that nature. So, I gave up a lot getting married. And so you just have to be careful. And then that big old wedding, what'd you guys spend? I have a friend right now that they're arguing about how much to spend on a wedding, and I'm like, look, it's already starting.
It's already started. Hey Jen, were you a bridezilla?
No, I was not. Kevin was.
Kevin.
Oh no, the hell you didn't.
Yes, you were.
You're like, season 2.
I wanted my
can
girls,
we end the show right now?
I wanted my girls in different dresses to where they're comfortable. I wanted them to pick their dresses for their body, what they're comfortable. And he's like, no, they all gotta look the same.
Yes. I did not want to tack your wedding. Like, if you're gonna come in, everybody have the same colors, same dress. Everybody come in.
They can be the same color,
but
different dresses.
That's what we did, Jen.
Is that a thing?
You can't tell a big woman like me that I got to fit in this tiny little dress that this size 0 looks wonderful in. No, sir, not happening.
No, it wasn't about that. I just want everybody to look coordinated.
I can't believe it.
And they did. Your guys' wedding was fabulous.
Groomzilla?
Thank you.
Groomzilla?
I was not. No matter what she said.
I wanted to go to the courthouse. That's what I wanted. Give me that look again. Because I'll bring all the kids.
Yeah, look at the face. He's like, what's going on here? Hey, before I go, before we go, y'all, I got one more thing, another piece of advice that I wanted to give before, and then we're going to go. One more piece of advice for people that are out here that's watching on via replay. Okay, got you. Replay live right now. There's one word that I want everybody to catch, and that is heal. You have
properly
to heal.
Heal properly.
No way you can go, and it's working with someone to get yourself together. That's great. You know, he just comes on in. He didn't like it.
He unlocked it.
Oh. But anyway. Y'all see that, right?
Yeah. I see little Terry.
I'll tell you. But yes, heal. It's easier to go through a relationship or something when you are together. The struggle is impacted when you are going through something and you're not completely healed. Now, it may take some time. It may take some time because there's parts of me that's still not healed for certain things, and it wears on us. But we work through it together. But avoid that by getting yourself together first. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's end the show. Oh, Bob, now I'm thinking about it. Tonight, 7:30 Central Standard Time. Right here on the BS3 Network, me and Kevin will be co-hosting E Digger's What's on Your Mind with E Digger, because he's got to work. Thanks, Tim, because he is at work tonight. We're gonna back him up. He's part of this podcast. We're gonna back him up tonight. We're talking about the Emmett Till movie coming out in October and Wakanda Forever coming out in November. I want to know, the question that we're gonna be talking about tonight is it gonna have the same energy for both movies? That's the question. So if you're wondering what Terry and Kevin thinks about this, tune in tonight, 7:30 Central Standard Time. So you guys, thank you for being on. Thank you for watching us today. I really appreciate you. I've had this hope that the crowd that's in here now has been the crowd from the beginning of the show. We want to thank you for that. I want to thank Jen for coming through again. Jen has been a part of this show once, and Melissa has been a part of the show too. Thank you guys, because you could have been doing something else. Whether to be here, me and Kev. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Little.
You guys have a rest of
Been
your
fun.
evening.
Thanks, guys.
Come back and check us out 7:30 right here on BS3. And until then, y'all have a great weekend. Weekend.
Week.
Week.